Alright, hope everyone's having a great day. I got the idea for this stream today. It was kind of a spur of the moment sort of thing, but those are usually the best. So what I did is I went on all my social medias, Discord, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and I told people, hey, I'm doing a podcast today. Give me your questions. I'll answer them, no matter what they are. I got some questions on this sheet that I have no idea how to answer. I was looking over them. This guy wants me to teach him quantum physics or some kind of bull crap. I don't know. But anyways, we're going to answer the questions regardless, because that's the point of the podcast. So that's what you guys are here for. I want to take a quick moment too before I start answering questions, because I want to wait for a couple people to get into the room. I want to take a moment to thank everyone that stopped by. I think it was either Friday or Saturday night. My memory's not the best, but we had a nice little stream on Twitch. Steve_XM on Twitch is my name on there. We had a nice stream. We were streaming the new Recker IL game. And I actually got a bunch of questions about that game that we're going to get into in a little bit. People are asking about, so we'll get into that as well. But yeah, I wanted to thank everyone for stopping by, because I got a shit ton of followers that night. I actually pretty much doubled my followers, so people are really passionate about that game, and that game is really fun. It's free to play for those that don't know. We'll get into all that later. But yeah, let's start with the questions. So question number one comes from Yeej Bjorn. I hope I'm saying that right. It's spelled YGGBJORN. Yeej Bjorn on Discord. He's got a couple questions. His first question, he wants to know, now this gets really philosophical. It might turn some of you off. I understand, I don't put a filter on these questions. So, don't be offended. I just put it out there. We're asking random questions. He wants to know what your favorite color is. So, my favorite color used to be, growing up, that's the great thing about that question, is you feel like you can learn so much about someone based on what color they like. Growing up, my favorite color I would always tell everyone is, baby blue. But what I realized about it was more of like a fad thing. Like, baby blue was like this color that was created by companies and clothing. It's a cool color, don't get me wrong, but it's definitely not my favorite color anymore. Now my favorite color is blue. So that answers that question. But yeah, I like blue. I think a lot of people like blue. It's like the color of the water that gives us life, color of the sky, a nice sunny day. How can you not like blue? It's a great color. So thanks, Yeej Bjorn from Discord chat. I'm not sure what chat you were from, but that's a good question to start off the stream with. It's very deep, very philosophical, but nonetheless, you gotta answer these hard questions. So, and if anyone in chat has questions, feel free to spout them out, and I'll answer them. Try to keep the profanity to a minimal. This is a PG-rated stream, so keep that in mind. But Yeebs Jorn's got a second question. What is the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow? Alright, we need to unpackage that question a little bit here. So he wants to know, what is the airspeed velocity? The speed of the air, I guess, surrounding the unladen swallow that would be flying, I suppose. I think a swallow is a bird. I don't know what unladen means, though, so I don't think I'm going to be able to answer this question to my fullest. But if I had to guess, and I want someone out there to go look up the answer for me. So for those that just joined, we are answering Yeebs Jorn's question from Discord. He wants to know, what is the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow? I'm guessing 30 miles per hour. Now, that's just off the cuff. I have no idea what an unladen swallow is, but, he asked a question, he received the answer. Okay, so that takes care of Yeebs Jorn from Discord. Thanks, buddy. If you got any more questions, you can hit me up on all my social medias. You can, shoot me another question, and we can get you another answer. So, thanks for the questions. All right, our second person to ever be on the AMA podcast show is Ryder. Now, Ryder is from Discord. He's got a really good question here. He wants to know, what's your favorite movie? So, this is a tough question. You can't just, I was actually looking at these questions earlier, and I was kind of thinking about this one a little bit. It used to be, The Dark Knight. I think The Dark Knight does a great example of showing how, you know, yeah, it's Batman. You don't, oh, your favorite movie is Dark Knight. It's a Batman movie. Like, that's dumb. No, there are some underlying elements in that movie that really show, you know, mainly the Joker. I'm just going to say that. The Joker is what makes that movie. So why my favorite movie used to be Batman, it's not anymore, The Dark Knight, is because it shows the Joker kind of like as a, he's not really, I mean, he's a villain, but he just has so much, you know, turmoil and hatred for the world that, you know, you kind of feel bad for him, really, and you kind of sympathize with him a little bit, and, you know, it makes you realize, okay, he wants complete chaos in the world, and that's the way he sees it. And yeah, that movie did that really well, though. It made you kind of almost feel for the bad guy a lot more than other movies. So yeah, but yeah, if you guys have questions in chat too, that was a good question, Ryder, but I'm not done answering it. But yeah, anyone in chat that's got questions, spout them out. Let me know how everything sounds and looks on the stream. This is our first run. Ooh, I gotta turn my air conditioning up a little bit. It's getting a little hot up in this mug, you know what I mean? It's how hot is it outside? I don't know, but my car is heating up, so we're gonna turn on the air conditioning a little bit. I was trying to keep it minimal for the perfect audio quality of the stream. But we're going to finish answering Ryder's question. What is your favorite movie? Comes from Discord. So, yeah, I don't know. My favorite movie now, I don't know. I don't think I can answer it, honestly. Let me try to think at least the past couple years what I've seen and what's really stood out as my favorite movie of all time. It's going to probably be something science fiction, something dumb. Yeah, I like science fiction, so I don't know. We'll go with The Martian. I like The Martian. That was cool. Yeah, we'll go with that. I don't know. That's not my favorite movie, but I just got to answer the question. Never said when I'm answering these questions that the answers had to be true or accurate or anything, but if I had some more time, I could probably come up with a better answer. But that movie was really good. It's probably in my top 100, so I guess that sort of answers it. Back in the day, though, I'll say one of my other favorite movies used to be Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. That's one of the movies that I watch the most, so good movie. Go check that out if you want some old school drug-induced mayhem. Okay, moving on. We have a lady named Ashley coming at us from Facebook. She wants to know, why do guys never pick up after themselves? Now, this seems like a simple question. If I had to guess, I think it's something to do with its biology. And that's kind of a mean question, too, because that's pretty much saying that all guys don't pick up after themselves. So right off the bat, that's not true. There are some people that are OCD. There's some people that are, you know, really clean. I know plenty of guys that are like super clean and they won't let anything get dirty. But yeah, she says, why do guys never pick up after themselves? I would say it's like marking territory. It gets down to like, you know, you could pick up, but you want to leave a little something behind. You got to leave something around to mark your area. I think that's what it is. You know, you got to let your territory be known. You know, leave some dirty clothes here or there. That way people have your scent kind of spread around. That would be my theory behind it. I think that's probably the closest thing to that true answer that you're going to get, to be honest, because, I don't know. That's what I think. But we got a couple more questions coming in here. All right, we have TSJ919 from Discord. He's got a couple of really good questions here. These could take hours to answer, to be honest, based on, you know, the depth of these questions. So, question number 1, burrito or burger? Okay. 2 of my favorite foods, right off the bat, I'll tell you that. Love me a burrito, love me a burger. Now, there's benefits to both. Right off the bat, I'm going to pick one. Burrito. Okay. Burrito is my favorite. Now, why I choose burrito over burger is because with a burrito, you can do pretty much anything with a burrito. You can actually make a burger. You can put everything that's in a burger in a burrito. And I think that pretty much just tells you who the victor is. So, yeah, burritos are amazing. I mean, you can cook them any kind of way you want. Same thing with a burger, though. Burgers, I've seen all kinds of burgers. You could throw pineapples on burgers. You know, you can do a chicken burger, turkey burger, sausage burger. But all that same stuff you can do with the burrito. And with the burrito, you just get so much more room. You can just wrap everything together. And it's kind of portable. You can take it on the go. A lot of times with a big burger that stacks up, you're going to need a fork and knife, or you're going to get messy. So yeah, definitely burrito. So that's TSJ919 from Discord. Now, anyone in chat, this is an AMA episode. I have plenty of questions to answer that I got through my social medias. But if you guys feel like you want to ask a question live, go ahead. All right, question number 2 from TSJ919. He asks on Discord, what is your favorite mustache? So as you can see, I'm kind of sporting, I don't even know what you call this mess. I don't know. It's like a goatee, that's like a beard. There's like a little thing on the side here. It's all kind of just mushed together. I'm really bad at, keeping it straight, and it's always a different shape every day. So I'm personally not a good example of picking out a good mustache, but if I was going to pick one, I would want to pick one that was the most outrageous, the most, extravagant kind of mustache. So you definitely got to go with one of those ones that twirl up, and you can do a little bit of this with your finger. I don't know what that's called. Like an old movie, like an old 1930s villain. I think a video game character, for those that are in the video game community, I think, does Rayleigh have one of those? He might have one of those. But anyways, yeah, that's my favorite mustache. So, good question, TSJ919. But he's got a bunch more. This guy is very creative. Okay, so his third question, he says, the best time of your life whilst fully clothed, he had to mention, because he didn't want to include, and he's smart, because he knows it's a PG stream. So he wants to know what the best time of my life was whilst clothed. I don't know. This is a tough one. It's gonna be something in recent memory, because I don't really have the best long-term memory, so all those old memories are kind of gone. So I don't know. I guess the best recent memory, and it's gonna be a little emotional here, is probably when I proposed to my fiance. So if you're hearing this, babe, that was it. That was #1 moment. Me and you, I got down on one knee, and I tried to put the ring on your finger, and I went for the wrong hand, and she had to go, no, the other one. And it was funny. There was her whole family was watching. I actually planned it out. I was like, all right, how do you propose? You want to make it special? I don't know. You want to make it somewhat memorable. So what I did is she had a graduation party coming up. She graduated from college, and I knew her entire family was going to be there. Literally everyone. She's got it was 60 people there. Well, there was at least 30. There's a lot of people there. And I thought that was a good time to do it. Everyone would get to witness it, so they believed that it was real. And so that they would get to, enjoy the moment with us. And, yeah, that's how I did it. It was kind of embarrassing. She was crying, and I definitely tried to put the ring on the wrong finger. And then about 20 minutes later, she goes on my phone. She seen me on my phone, and there was a Google search of how to propose. That was literally what showed up. It was an image, and it showed a guy on a knee, and it showed him trying to put the ring on the cartoon lady's finger. So I was looking it up last minute. I was like, all right, how do I do this properly? I still did it wrong, but you also thought that counts with that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, that was a good question. TSJ9191 coming from Discord. He wanted to know what the best moment of my life was, and I guess that would be it. That would sum it up. So, all right. He's got another question. All right. Who wins, a badger or an ostrich? I'm assuming in a fight. I don't know if he meant like a game of chess or maybe a game of PUBG. Okay, let's just assume that he's talking about in a fight. So who wins, a badger or an ostrich? Okay. I got a picture of what a badger looks like in my head for a second here. I'm picturing a beaver, but a lot stronger and very resilient. I've heard that they're resilient, that you can pretty much shoot them with anything and they won't die. And then you got your ostrich, which I've never seen one in real life, but from what I've heard, they're huge. And they got those giant long necks. They can peck shit. They can run probably really quick. But this is not a race, so we're talking about a fight here. I'm going with the ostrich. I think that an ostrich versus a badger, yeah, he's just got that reach. That's what it comes down to. Like in a boxing match, if you got that reach, I think you're good. Plus the size. I mean, he's much bigger from what I know of ostriches and badgers. I could be wrong. Watch the badger is bigger, but I'm pretty sure that's like a big giant bird, ostrich, and badger is a small rodent type of creature. So yeah, the ostrich is going to win. It's going to use his long neck, it's going to bob and weave, and it's going to keep pecking at the head of the badger And the only thing the ostrich needs to worry about, though, is if that badger gets on him. If the badger gets onto the back of the ostrich, it could be trouble. Because I don't think there's a way for the ostrich to really shake it off. I don't think they can roll. The badger could just dig into the ostrich's back and cause some damage, cause some permanent infections and stuff like that. So, yeah, thanks for the question, TSJ9191, coming from Discord. He had 4 good questions. They were all quality. But yeah, your ostrich is going to win in that battle, my friend. So this is going to be the hardest part of the podcast. Is I have these giantly printed questions. I wanted to make sure the font was really large so I could read them easily while driving at 700 miles an hour. So I'm going to rip off this page and hopefully it doesn't rip the rest with it. I'll show you guys the page too so you guys can see the behind the scenes. Oh yeah. Hold on, I don't want people to see me. Look at that. Oh, questions. Now get them in while they're hot. Okay. We are on to more questions. This is one of the best questions I got. Okay. So Professor Broman from Instagram asks, now he didn't come out searching for me to ask for this question. I went to him. Yeah, he's a great guy. For those that don't know, Professor Broman is a streamer on Twitch. Go look him up. Go watch his stuff. He's very inspirational. He's got his own podcast that actually inspired me to do this one. Anyways, enough of that gloating stuff. He's got a question that's really important, and I like this question. It's simple, it's deep, and ask you guys yourself this too. Okay, from Professor Broman on Instagram, he asks, what gets you up in the morning? Okay. Actually, I get up by an alarm clock in the morning, so that's what gets me up. All right, next question. No. It's more than that. It's not just the alarm clock. So when you wake up in the morning, that is a good question. Like, why do you get up? Okay, first of all, you get up because you just got done sleeping and you kind of have to wake up. Second of all, you get up because you want to. You want to experience life. You want to try stuff that's new. Maybe you have habits that you like to do every day. Like for me, I like hanging out with my fiance, with my friends, all that stuff. But, one of my other habits that I do every day is gaming and streaming. I look forward to doing that stuff. I don't want to not wake up. I want to wake up every day and be able to do those fun things. So I think that each and every person's got a different reason for getting up in the morning. But I think the overall reason is because you like the life experience. You like, doing that stuff that you do. Could be anything. Some people like doing different things, but yeah, that's it. I mean, you like to do what you like to do, and that's why you do it, and that's why you get up in the morning. Now, an alarm clock, too, is also what gets me up in the morning, but that answer wasn't as exciting, so. Okay, thanks for the question, Professor Broman. That was really nice of him to do that. So yeah, thank you. And we're going to move on to the next man or woman. It's Cool D, Cool Space D, coming at us from Discord. So for those that just joined, I went on all my social medias this morning and I asked everyone, I was like, hey, give me your questions. I want random questions. I don't care what they're about. Shoot them at me, and I'm going to answer them. I don't care what they are. So we got some weird questions so far. We got some more weird ones to get to. They get really weird. And we got about another 25, 30 minutes of this podcast. So hold on tight, and if you got any questions, throw them in the chat. I can see the chat here. I'll answer them live. That's the best way to do it. But we're going to get to Cool D. He's got a bunch of questions here. He's coming at us on Discord. His first question is, okay, this is good. What are your thoughts and opinions on Recreo IL? So for those that don't know, Recreo IL, that is the new game mode that came out. It was in alpha over the weekend. It's pretty much just think about PUBG, but in VR. And Recreo IL, it's a very, Rec Room, the game that it's part of, is like a very cartoony virtual reality game. But a lot of the game elements involve using your hands and moving around and playing with things and solving quests. And, they got everything from disc golf in there. You're using your arms to throw, the discs. They got paintball where you got to capture flags. But then there's other game modes. Actually, I played for 2 hours the other night on stream. It was amazing. It's just charades. So you just go in there with like 5 other people and you're literally playing charades in VR, which works amazingly in VR. You pick up a card, you look at it, and then you get say you get baseball bat. I'll start drawing a baseball bat, and then my team's got to guess it quick, so they get the points. So yeah, there's all kinds of stuff in there, but the new game mode that's coming out soon, it's coming out on June 7th, I believe, the full release. It's called Recreo IL, and I got a chance to play it. Now, this thing is amazing. It's from someone that's their favorite games are Battle Royale games. I love playing PUBG. I love playing Fortnite. This is the best way to play Battle Royale is in VR. You get up close and personal with people. I mean, it's so much different than sitting in front of a screen with a controller connected to your hands. Now, you're controlling that person on the screen. You're trying to keep them alive. Yeah, it kind of feels like it's you a little bit, you know? But when you're in virtual reality and you hear footsteps coming from around a corner and you have no gun, and, you know, it's just so much more, not stressful, but so much more fun in VR. It's just, that's the way to play a Battle Royale game. So yeah, that's what it is. It's a little bit cartoony, but I forgot to mention that it's free. It's free to play. So if you got a PlayStation 4, if you got an HTC Vive, if you got an Oculus Rift, there's probably other headsets on the PC it works with too, but yeah, it's free to play. So go download it, wait until June 6th, or go play it now. There's a bunch of other cool game modes in it. You can unlock all your different outfits for your avatar, all that cool stuff, make your guy look completely unique. I see people online, and, you know, they got the name above their head, but I just recognize them right away from their outfit they're wearing. Like, holy crap, that's Jimmy Sam 1600. And it's like, I remember what he looked like because he was wearing that hat with those, you know, orange pants. So it's really cool. You can kind of make your own identity in the world, and the community is so, like, tightly knit. Like, I had people in my chat, and they're like, oh, that's that guy, that's that guy. They could tell right away, and, you know, everyone knows each other. It feels like a little second home. So I'm liking these people in this community, and I highly recommend the game. I mean, it's just so much fun. It's balanced. There's tons of different weapons, everything you would expect from Battle Royale. You got your snipers, you got your shotguns, your pistols. It even takes, you know, a little nod from Fortnite. It's got shield potions, so you get your shields up, drink those little potions. Of course, you do it in VR, so you're dousing on your head. I don't know, you might be able to throw it at your feet. I don't know, but I drink it. You know, you see a potion, you want to drink it, so that's what we do. We drink. And yeah, it's got all the same elements. There's only 16 players, but it's the you know, last one alive wins. Now eventually they are going to add you know, team modes, duos, squads, all that good stuff. So, and I'm going to be playing this game in the future. So if it sounds interesting, I will be playing a lot. We got someone in chat, GGOP, my friend. Yeah, GGOP. He's got some questions coming up. Actually, he's the next person on the list. So hold tight, OP. We got some questions for you. Well, actually, we got some answers, and we got some questions. But yeah, Cool D from Discord is asking all these questions about Recker IL. He's got another question, though. He says, what are your favorite weapons and strategies? Okay, so favorite weapons right off the bat is going to be just the I call it a submachine gun. I think it's the fully automatic. I think it's called an auto rifle, I think. But it's got a clip that comes out. You got to reload the clip. So that's one downside to it, is it does have to be reloaded. Some of the other guns in the game, you can just kind of keep shooting until they run out of ammo. But this thing is like fully automatic. If someone gets up on you, you just spray them with it. And it does a lot of damage. It's really accurate. And yeah, that's my favorite gun so far. But my second favorite gun would be the just, you know, assault rifle, because of its, you know, obviously medium range. Now, mind you, I didn't really mention all these guns. Since it's like a PG game, you know, there's no blood, there's no gore, which is fine. And it's still insanely fun. And you're shooting like paintballs in that. So, all the weapons have an interesting amount of bullet drop, you know, paintball drop. They also have, you know, really slow velocity. So the game is a lot about leading. You learn how to lead, and I think it's really cool. But yeah, no, my second favorite gun is the assault rifle, just because it's very versatile. I got probably 90% of my kills with it. My video that I had just come out, it's on my YouTube channel. You can check it out. I had 9 wins and 40 plus kills, and that was in it's 5 hours of gameplay. So, you know, go and watch all 5 hours of it. Check out the gameplay. I plan on making a highlight reel soon. It's going to take a while. I'll probably have one out by the weekend, but it takes a while to edit that stuff. So, and on that same note, my third favorite weapon is the sniper rifle. It would be number 1 because it's, you know, you got that range. You can really take advantage of height in the environment. You can get up on a hill and kind of just take people out. But I will say the scope is, you know, takes some getting used to. So that could become my favorite weapon down the road. But right now it's hard to use. I'm not used to scoping in VR yet. And you have to really steady your hand, because you got to remember the little movements of that scope. If there's someone 1,000 meters away, well, probably not that far, but let's say 300 meters away, the little tiny twitch of your hand, you're going to move that scope. And it's hard in VR to pretend to hold a sniper scope, but we'll get there. That might move up the list on our favorite weapons. All right, Cool D. Good questions so far. Question number 3. So what surprised you most about Recker IL? Okay. Honestly, the thing that surprised me the most about it is how good it was. I played Recreo in the past, and I'll be honest, it's a good game, but when I look for a game, the next game that I'm going to play and invest my time in, I look for something that's, insanely polished and that has really deep gameplay mechanics that I can really, suck at first and then build my way up. And, the game before, all the other game modes are fun, but I don't think they're more like mini games. I think that this Recker IL could be a full-blown experience with a couple of minor tweaks. And I was surprised. Yeah, I was really surprised about how good it was. I couldn't stop playing it. I remember, if you go through my stream, it's hilarious. I was editing it the other night. At the 2-hour mark, now this is out of 5 hours, at the 2-hour mark, I say it 3 games in a row. I go, okay guys, I'm getting off. This is my last game. I got, I'm getting off. I don't know why I wanted to get off, probably just because I wanted to play something else, but I mean, I guess I did want to play something else because I kept playing, and yeah, it's addicting, so that will happen. So if you're going to play it, give yourself a lot of time. It's a really fun game. It comes out on June 7th. It's going to be free to play for everyone, and it's cross-platform too. So I was playing with people that were on PlayStation. It was really cool. All right, he's got one last question though. Cool D on Discord. He says, what changes would you like to see to the game? Okay, so there's a lot of things. We'll go through a couple here. So I want to see stats tracked. I don't know if that was an option. I want to see smooth turn locomotion. Now they have a built-in one. You have to click down on both thumbsticks, and then you can move like wherever your head moves, you move. But I'm talking about, I want a smooth turn locomotion that's mapped to one thumbstick. A lot of other VR games have it. I want to see it in this. I'll feel a bit more immersed. So I want that. I want a better way to swap weapons. As of right now, you can, say you have a weapon holstered to your right holster, okay? Now you have a weapon in your right hand. Now your only options are to throw away the weapon in your hand and then pick up the weapon in your right holster. So you can do that, but then you just threw away a gun. Or your other option is you can actually holster the weapon in your hand while there's a weapon holstered. And what that does is it shoots the holstered weapon out into the environment, and then you just holstered the weapon that was in your hand. So either way, you're throwing away a weapon. I would like to see an option to swap them. You want to swap. So what you're going to do is, instead of that weapon popping out, it just swaps from hand to holster. So I think that's a really good idea. I think they could implement that. Wouldn't be too hard. Another thing that took me off in VR, and I can kind of understand why they did this. I think they want you to be able to use your watch while you're using the hang glider. So when you're using the hang glider, it only controls with one hand. You can't put 2 hands on it. There's no way to do it. You can control it fully with one hand. You don't need 2 hands, but I feel like it'd be more immersive. I don't know, maybe you could control it a little bit more precise with 2 hands, I think. I think that would be better. And I think it would be better for holding out in front of you. Because a lot of times with holding with one hand, the hang glider ends up being behind your back, and it's all awkward and stuff. But yeah, fix the hang glider there. So because you can control it with one hand, it gives you the options to, I guess you could pull your map out, or I guess you could pull your watch out, and you could, send your friends messages while you're hang gliding, but I don't think that's necessary. You're only hang gliding for a short period of time anyways. Take the people's watches away while they're hang gliding. They don't need that. Take away the maps while they're hang gliding. You can see the whole map anyways in front of you. And yeah, let me get 2 hands on the hang glider and I'll be happy. I don't think there's anything else too much that I can think of that, maybe an option to crouch in game so you can have silent footsteps. I don't know. That's a lot of balancing issues that it brings up. But, or maybe if you, with the thumbstick, you walk at a certain speed, you're quieter. I don't know. I couldn't find a way to be quiet. Because in, PUBG, Fortnite, there's a crouch. You can try to minimize your footsteps. And these kind of Battle Royale games, sound is everything, which in VR is amazing because it's all around you, the sound. But there's no way to, lessen your sound impact in the game. So that would be a nice option. I mean, you could stand still, but... as anyone knows that's played a Battle Royale game, standing still is the worst thing you can do. That's what I've learned. So you'll see me even in VR, I'm just going like this. I'm just moving around constantly. Because if someone's far away, all they got to do is sniper shot you in the head. And that'll do a lot of damage. So, yeah. So fix that so we can stay moving and not have to worry about being impacted. I can at least crouch and I can move around. But one more thing I can think of off the top of my head that I'd like to see changed is damage with a shotgun. There was a couple instances where I shot someone at point blank, close range, and you would expect one, no shield, you would expect them to die, even if it's a low-level shotgun. Now, I can see the lowest level shotgun, maybe not killing someone, but there was an instance, and I'll probably make a highlight video of it. There was this poor gentleman that fell off the gondola. He came down, and he had the hang glider glitch, so he was trapped there. He couldn't do anything. He was on the ground. He was like, "Hey, man, don't shoot me. I can't do anything." And I was like, "Oh, sorry, buddy. I got to put you out of your misery." Well, anyways, when I did that, I had a shotgun out, and it was the best level shotgun you could get in the game. And I literally, every little pellet hit him in the head. I just point blanked him in the head, and it didn't kill him. It actually took 2 shots, so I don't know. That needs to be fixed. I don't know if there's headshot damage in that either, but yeah, maybe up that damage a little bit. I don't know. I'll be posting this, so I'm sure all the devs will see this, and you guys will check it out and listen to my advanced knowledge in a game that I've played for less than 10 hours. But yeah, I had a lot of fun. That's all the questions from Cool D about Recreo IL, but I just want to say one last time, that game is free. Go check it out. It's fun. It's exciting. It's exhilarating. It's, it's Battle Royale in VR, and it's done well. So, and, that game's got a bunch of built-in cosmetics, unlocks, that'll kind of keep you coming back for more. I'm sure they'll add unique cosmetic unlocks for that game mode. And it'll be pretty cool to see, Steve_XM, he's got the cool camouflage battle vest that he won for getting, 300 wins in Recreo IL. So I'm looking forward to unlocking that and getting that. But yeah, thanks for the questions, Cool D from Discord. You came through, and you had some good ones. Next up on the list is someone we like to call GG_OP. He is in chat, I do believe. Say hi, my friend. His questions are coming up next. He's coming at us technically from Facebook, so we're going to say that. All right, so his first question, he says, it seems like everything in the gaming community has already been done as far as games go. Every game's been made. All the different game types have been done. We want to see something new. He says, what do you think a game would need to feel fresh, new, and exciting? Okay, that's a good question. So he's pretty much asking me to invent the next best game and make millions and millions of dollars. So we're going to try to do that here. I definitely think that I think VR could be the way to go with that. Now, what needs to happen though is we need to see we need to see a AAA level game made for VR that it's full length and made from the ground up, multiplayer. It's got to be multiplayer. I mean, it could be single player too, but I think the social element of VR is amazing. So I think from that, I think you could get a really, really good, MMO, first-person shooter, or just an MMO in general. The next Elder Scrolls could be made for VR. Elder Scrolls Online VR. But it would just be you'd just be so much more immersed in these games. And once the graphics get better, once more people actually start having access to these virtual reality headsets, the game developers will be able to put all this money into these games. Now, I understand you're not going to spend, $500 million making a VR game for, I don't know, that only 300,000 people are going to play. I get it. So that's the main issue that we need to get to. But I think that's something that would be exciting and fresh. Would be, it wouldn't even necessarily have to be new gameplay mechanics. Just what we're used to, done in VR, done well, done right. So you're going to, explore full worlds in VR, create your own little houses in VR, have your friends over, go on quests together, all that stuff you could do. And a really good first-person shooter would be cool in VR, like a Halo. Like if Microsoft just got their act together, realized that the franchise is going downhill, or actually Destiny. Destiny would be a good example. Do it in VR. I don't know. It doesn't have to be in VR, but that's all I could come up with for that answer, for that question, is AAA games done in VR, done right. But it's gonna be time for that. So look for that stuff in like another 5 years. I'm sure that the next gen systems, if VR is still doing well, will hopefully promote virtual reality. All right, question number 2 coming from Archie from Facebook, also known as GG_OP, is what would you like to see in the future for a game? All right, well, I think I kind of already answered that, but me personally, what kind of game would I like to see? Yeah, I think pretty much what I just came up with would be a virtual reality game that's super immersive, super high level of quality, that we can socialize in, everyone can play together, and then on top of that, you know, make it cross-platform with people that don't have VR. That's going to be the way to do it. I don't know, but it can't be a competitive game because then the people that aren't in VR kind of have an advantage. Maybe find a way to make a VR game where the people in VR have an advantage, then make it cross-platform. That way, the people on consoles will feel like, oh man, I gotta get it for VR. And it can, is this guy really trying to pass me here? This is not 2 lanes, my friend. Not 2 lanes. And he's on his cell phone. But see, he's on his cell phone, but he's like this, with his hand to his ear. And he's got like peripheral vision, like, you know, messed up by his hand. I got full sights right now on everyone. So yeah, that's what we're doing. We're driving, we're answering questions. This gets rid of our second sheet. We only got 1 sheet left, I think, so these questions better be good. Oh, it's this guy. All right, we got these crazy questions coming up, talking about theoretical physics and all this other stuff. This guy was really trying to hit me with the hard questions here. So for those who just joined, we're answering questions that have been given to me through all my social medias, and I'm also looking for questions from the chat as well. So if you guys can think of anything, shoot them at me. I will answer them on the fly, live. But we're going to move on to twitch.tv / oh no, I got his name cut off here. Accelerated TV, I think. Oh, I'm sorry, buddy. I got tape over your name and I'm driving, so I can't really fix it. I'll make sure I shout you out later. But yeah, twitch.tv, accelerated TV, whatever it is. He's asking a couple questions here. Okay. Question number 1. This is a good question. He asks, are you a booty man, hip man, or chesticle man? That's his question. I really don't know what a chesticle is. So we're going to change this question a little bit. We're going to change it to boobs. That's what we're going to do. So are you a boob man? Are you a booty man, hip man, or a boob man? Now this is a good question. I like this question. And it's changed over the years. I think when you're growing up and you're a little kid, I think at least me personally, I would lean more toward boobs. But as the culture changes, I think it's more common now. I'm leaning more towards booty. So, gotta have the booty. You don't have to, but I don't know. I'm going booty. I'm booty man. That answers that question. Thank you. Twitch.tv / Oh, here we go. We can get his name now. It's Accelerate TV. He's on Discord asking these questions. All right. Question number 2 from him. Okay. At the point of sleep deprivation, do you feel zen? Or are you a potato that just goes blank slate? Okay, so let's unpack that question. I think what he's asking is, when you get to that point, when you've been up for longer than you should have been, you're getting to the point where you've almost been awake for 24 hours, and you know that you need sleep, and your body's telling you need sleep, but you just keep trucking, you keep streaming, you keep playing that game, you gotta get that next chicken dinner in PUBG, whatever you're doing, you gotta keep going. Or you're working a shitty overnight job, and you're insanely tired, and all you want is sleep. And how does that feel? Are you zen? Or are you, how does he word it? Are you zen? Or are you a potato that just goes blank slate? I'm zen. I like being sleep deprived. And also, when you're sleep deprived, when you go to bed, you feel like really comfortable. I had a lot of issues, I think, growing up with going to sleep. And I found the best way to actually get to sleep, because I had a lot of troubles going to sleep. I could never get to sleep. I had like insomnia. So literally the best way for me to go to sleep was just stay up really late. So when I stayed up really late and I got super tired, your body you had to go to sleep. You just were so tired. But yeah, you're kind of almost like, drunk or high, I feel like, when I'm in a sleep deprived state. So I kind of like it. I'm one of these people that come from the mindset, I like altered conscious. I get down with that kind of thing. I like changing the way that I feel and, interact with the world. Now, I've done that at many different levels, but I think the best level to do that at is, just having like a beer or something like that, You feel good afterwards. Everything is a little bit different. So, yeah, that's the same thing when you're sleep deprived. You're in an altered state, and for me, it's Zen. Some people, I don't know, I guess they become a potato and they just sit there. But for me, I can function fully when I'm in a sleep-deprived state. Now, I've never gone, at least in like the last 10 years, I've never gone, I don't think, over like 28 hours without sleep. There's been a couple times where I've gone, like 24-ish hours without sleep. But yeah, I feel pretty good. I feel a little loopy, a little lightheaded, but I can get down with it and I can adapt. I'm pretty good at being in a different state of mind and functioning properly. I think so anyways. That's what we all think, though. All right. That's all from him. Thanks, twitch.tv/Accelerant TV. Coming at us from Discord. Now we get to the tough questions. This guy was trying to... This, Takari on Discord. He's got... Oh, wait. Yeah, this is this guy. He's got a lot of good questions. So thanks, Takari, for making me look like a fool with all these insane questions you're about to ask me. Okay, so his first question is... Because I told them... I went on the Discord and I was like, hey, you guys got any questions? Send them to me. I'll answer them live. And I was like, well, I can also answer some PUBG questions because it was a PUBG Discord forum. I was like, I haven't played the game in over a month, but I can still answer your questions. And then he goes, question number 1 from Takari is, if you haven't played PUBG in a month, how can you answer most questions? Okay, well, I mean, the gameplay hasn't really changed a lot. I mean, I haven't played in a month, so maybe it has. But no, the gameplay is still the same. You still got to get to the end of the game. And I developed, skills good enough to... I can get 0 kills, I'm not going to say I'm the best shooting person at PUBG. I'm not. I'm horrible at shooting, actually. If I play for a couple days in a row, 6 hours a day, my shooting starts to get better. But I play the game once every couple weeks. My shooting's not the best. But what is really good, that like I said, I can get to the top 10 every time. Might be 0 kills, but my survival skills are really good. So I know how to land in certain areas where, you're going to kind of be close to where the zone's going to be, so you're not going to get killed by the zone, although I don't think that's an issue anymore anyways. But I know how to land far away from the plane, so I know how to survive. Those skills are not going to change. That's not going to change. So I can answer questions like that. So while we're on that topic, say you want to win in PUBG, what do you do? Okay, well, there's 2 options you can do. You can either drop down in school, you drop down in school 15 times, probably 10 out of the 15 times you're going to die right away. You probably won't get a weapon. The other 5 times you're going to get a gun, and then maybe you get a couple kills, and then 1 out of those 15 times you're going to kill everyone in school. You're going to get all the loot from the school, the whole school. You're going to be super looted up, and then you can go on to win the rest of the game. Now, that's not limited to school. That's limited to, other places on the map that are hotspots like that. Okay, so that's option number 1. And it does work, and I've done it. Option number 2 is you go as far as possible away from everyone else. And you want to get there first, too. So your parachuting skills have to be on point. You got to get there first. It's going to be very far away. But also, you don't want to go somewhere far away that's got no loot. So, you want to land in a faraway place that has good loot up, and then work your way back. And then by the time you get all the way back, you have 0 kills. This is what I do. 0 kills, but it's like top 10 situation. So now all you got to do is outkill a couple other people, and that's the second way to win. So yeah, Takari, I haven't played in a while, but I can still answer some questions on the game. So if you have any more, I would feel happy to answer them. Now I can't tell you what the chest damage of a M16 is right now. Those weapons, I never know that stuff anyways, but the weapons are always getting buffed and nerfed and all that stuff. So yeah, those are the kind of questions I can't answer. Okay, now for his second question, coming from Takari on Discord. This is where he's trying to be snarky here. He asked me, explain the Rayleigh scattering and how it causes the sky to change colors. Okay, so the people that are listening to this aren't even going to know what that means. I don't even know what it means, to be honest. I Googled it. I'm like, okay, I know a little bit about how light works. I know a little bit about optics. I took a physics class that taught me, how telescopes works, and I know a little bit about quantum mechanics. But yeah, I didn't remember that term, Rayleigh scattering. So I looked it up, and what it is like when light goes through different mediums. So it goes through the vacuum of space. I'm gonna just try to dumb this down. Let's see if I get this right, Takari. Let's say light's going through the vacuum of space. And let's say it's just, we're going to call it white light. It's just, it's bright, there's no color to it. Goes through the vacuum of space. So it's in a medium where it's, constant, it's unsettled. Now, when that light comes through the atmosphere, it still has to travel, I believe, it still has to travel at the speed of light. Am I correct? Okay. Light travels at the speed of light. That's why it's called light. Okay, so now it's traveling through a different medium. It's traveling through the atmosphere, which has, I don't know, water, oxygen, who knows what's in the atmosphere? I don't. It's got other stuff in there, though. So, now, the tricky part for the light is it's coming from a vacuum and it's going into a new medium, but it still has to, that law of, whatever law it is in physics, that it has to go at the speed of light. It's light, so it still has to go at the speed of light. So what it does, I believe, if I'm correct, is in order to correct for the different medium that it's traveling through, it still has to go the speed of the light through it, even though it's a different medium. Something happens where it shoots off energy, I believe, and the wavelengths change due to loss of energy. And I think that's what your Rayleigh scattering is. If I summarize that correctly. So, you can shine a white light through, one medium, and it's going to be a different color through another medium, and that's not necessarily the color of like the water changing it. It's just the the density of the medium. So I think I did that correctly. But yeah, he's talking about Rayleigh scattering and how it causes the sky to change colors. So yeah, the sky is blue. All the light that comes at the Earth comes directly at it straightly. There's no light that hits the Earth at an angle. It all comes down at pretty much straight down. 100% 90-degree angle. Because the sun is so far away, the sun shoots out rays at angles. But by the time it reaches us, however many hundreds of thousands of miles away, I don't know these numbers, the only rays that hit us are the rays that are pretty much parallel with each other, they're straight. So I think that has something to do with why the sky is always the same color. And then I think when you, sunrise, sunset, you get those edges of the sky that are like red and pink and all these different colors. That's because of, I don't know, I don't want to make anything up, but it's something to do with along those lines of, I think it's the curvature. Oh yeah, you know what it is? When it's coming at the angle, so when it's coming, say this, okay, picture this in your head, you're looking at a horizon, and then you're looking at the sun in the distance right over the horizon. Now instead of the sun being in the sky and just going through that bubble, we'll call it a bubble of the atmosphere, it's got to come at that side angle now of the bubble, because it's like directly on the horizon. So it's got to go through more medium to get to your eyes. So by going through more medium, it's got to change its color more. It's got to give off more energy or whatever it's got to do, change its wavelength. So hopefully I got that right, Takari. You are the scientist with the fancy answers, or fancy questions actually, but I like that question because it gets you thinking, And for those that are interested, I don't know, go Google stuff about light, the way light works. It's quite interesting. A fun fact about light that some people don't know, I guess I could throw out there. So time for us is, variable. Depending on what speed you're going at, time can be different for you compared to other people. So say you're traveling close to the speed of light, we'll say 90% speed of light, and you go into space. Hold on, I gotta let these people merge. Okay, so you go into space and you go in a spaceship, you're going 90% the speed of light, okay? Now you want to go travel to a faraway planet, you're going super quick, super quick. We're gonna go there, we're gonna go to that planet we're gonna go there for 10 days. We're gonna visit there for 10 days and we're gonna come back to Earth. Okay, because we were traveling at that speed, time had to slow down for us. And then time remained the same for people on Earth. So what happens is, you come back to Earth and it's like 1 billion years later. So you time traveled into the future. So that happens. But for light, because it's traveling at the speed of light, time actually doesn't exist. It's kind of weird. It does, but it's kind of warped and extreme. So say you're a particle of light that comes, from the opposite side of the universe. Let's just say that we can get there to the opposite side of the universe, and there's a wall. Let's just say that it's shining out from that wall. Okay, the light. Now, let's say the light's turned off. Okay, now you flick that light on, and you get a I don't know if it's an electron, but anyways, you get a little particle of light that shoots out of the light, and now it's going to go directly across to the other side of the universe, and it's going to hit the opposite side wall. We're saying that the universe has a wall now. Now, the time that goes by for that light is literally, it doesn't experience any time. It's like it was like the second it was born, it hits the other side of the wall. So from the second that you turn it on to the, okay, now let's say this too. It takes that light 10 zillion years. We'll say 10 billion. It takes that light 10 billion years to go from one side of the wall to the other. Now, as far as that light is concerned, if it had a brain and it could think and all that stuff, literally less than, a fraction of a zillionth of a second went by. It was like instantaneous because it was going at the speed of light. So that's what happens when you go at the speed of light, which would be an issue probably if you were traveling at the speed of light, is I don't think you would be able to stop. Whatever computer was on board or whatever, it wouldn't have any sense of time. So literally you would turn on your light speed thing, and then you would fly, and you would hit into a wall instantly later, as far as you were concerned. It doesn't matter if it's on the other side of the universe, if it's in another universe, whatever. That's how light works. So yeah, thanks to Kari for the question. That led us into some cool stuff. All right, to Kari's third question, coming at us from Discord, he wants us to explain, again, why things currently referred to AI are not true AI. Okay, so for those that don't know, AI, artificial intelligence. So what that tells you right off the bat is it's artificially intelligent. So it has to resemble intelligence, but he's saying that how come things that are currently referred to as AI are not true AI? Well, I mean, it depends on how you look at the word. They're artificially intelligent to a certain degree. So if we just look at it like that, I mean, Siri is artificially intelligent to a certain degree. You can ask it the weather, it'll tell you, but all these things are programmed. It's just mimicking. None of it is true intelligence. It's artificial intelligence, but at a very low level. So I think what he's getting at is true AI. How come current AI is not at the true AI level? And that's an interesting topic, and I think you can pretty much summarize it in one point. So a current day AI that's in a low level, all these AIs, some of them are kind of smart, but they're really not. They're all think programmed. They can't come up with their own thoughts. So if you program in apple, banana, orange, tree, and then you ask it all these questions, it's going to spit out one of those answers. Now we need an AI that you can program it, as like a baby, like it doesn't even know anything. You just program it blank, and then you teach it things. I guess that's what we do. But then all of a sudden it thinks, okay, what if I fuse an apple with an orange and made this brand new tree that never existed, and then we took it to another land, and then we planted the seeds, and then built our own communities, and it just comes up with all these ideas on its own that never were even put in there, that came from somewhere. It came from the ether. That's what they call it. People in scientific communities and stuff like that, that's where they say that all ideas already exist. So all those intelligent people that were out there, Einstein, Newton, whoever else you want to name, all these people, those ideas were already in the air, the ether. Or am I saying, is it aether? I think it's ether. And then their brains were conduits for it, and they kind of like pulled it out of the ether. And all these things are already there. And maybe AI could do that. If we made a brain that was smart enough, intelligent enough, it could pull these things out of the ether. It could come up with its own ideas. Well, maybe there's only a certain set amount of ideas you can come up with too. So it'll come up with the same ideas. But yeah, so that's why AI is not the same. It can't think on its own yet. It can't come up with new ideas. It can be programmed like crazy to replicate. So we could have a computer come out that, I don't know if we're ever going to get to true AI. I would like to hope so. But that'd be a scary day, my friends, because then you got to give the AI rights. If it's truly an AI, you got to give it the same rights. You got to treat it correctly. And it brings a lot of questions, like what other animals out there are close to having intelligence as smart as we are? There's many. So You have to consider all these things when you're talking about AI. But we're going to move on to question number 4 of Takari from Discord. He asks, why does water appear blue? I don't know. I don't know. I really don't. It appears blue. Is it blue? Is it translucent? Is it clear? Maybe it has something to do with the sky. That's what I'm going to go with. So 90% of, 100% of the sky is blue. I don't know. The blue reflects and it's blue water. That's what I'm going with. That's your answer, buddy. Hope it's right. Question number 4. Thanks, Takari. Takari came through today, and he's got the most questions of everyone. Not that it's a competition, people. Sometimes one good question, like the question from Professor Broman, is that's all you need. And his question was, why do you wake up in the morning? That was his question. And that's very deep and philosophical. But we're going to get to question number 5 of Takari. He likes these science questions. He thinks that I know this stuff. I don't. I only took propulsion in college. I don't remember the actual equations. I just took it and passed and somehow managed to squeak by with a B. Okay. How do you catch up to an object in the same orbit around a planetary body as you? Okay, so what he's asking is, let's say you're both going around the planet Earth. You and a... Whoa, that makes a weird echo when I talk in front of this. He's saying you got an object orbiting the Earth, and then you got another object orbiting the Earth, and we're far apart, okay? We're in the same orbit, so we're going around like this. We're chasing each other. But let's just say we're going at the same speed. So, how do we catch up to the other object? Well, I don't know. I think you could just use, propulsion. Couldn't you do that? Yeah, you could do that. You would use some kind of fuel on board. You would ignite the fuel at the back end, and then you would have less mass, and you would have an opposite pushing force to push you closer to it. So I think that answer is correct. I think there's another answer. We could probably, if we didn't want to touch it, we could get closer to the Earth. We could get closer to the body, and our orbit would be shorter, and we would have the same amount of energy, and we would go faster. But then we would go by the object. We'd be faster than it. So I don't know. It depends on how you want to define catching up to it. But I think the first answer I gave you is sufficient, my friend. And I hope I get more of these scientific questions here. All right, question number 6 from Takari on Discord. He asks, why am I the smartest man alive? And I'm not sure if he was talking about himself or if he was talking about me. But well, I'll answer both, because if he's saying, why am I the smartest man alive, and he's talking about himself, I'm going to tell him he's the smartest man alive because he gave me the most brilliant questions today. And he actually made this podcast go by quite quickly. And it gave us a lot of content to talk about. And yeah, it killed about 20 minutes there, Takari. So thanks, buddy. That's why you're so smart. Now, if we're going to say, why am I the smartest man alive? I don't know. I wouldn't say I'm the smartest man alive, but I think that I realize that I have a unique thought process that other people might not have. So maybe not smartest man alive, but a man that's smart enough to realize, possibly the smartest man alive, we'll say that. Man that's smart enough to realize, even though you're not the smartest, educationally, we're going to put the bunny fingers up, that you can still use your unique thoughts and your unique take on things to come up with ideas that other people haven't. So that's why I'm the smartest man alive. So thanks for that. All right, down to the final question of the podcast. All right, here we go. Another scientific question that I don't know the answer to, that I'm going to pretend like I do. All right, Takari, enough of your nonsense with these questions. He wants to know, Takari, coming from Discord, he wants to know, what is the difference between flammable and inflammable? Oh boy, this is like one of those trick questions, I think. Flammable means it's flammable, right? You can go on fire, I think. This is probably a trick one, but we're going to go with that. Flammable means that whatever composition the material is, if a spark touches it, some sort of ignition source, some sort of energy, that it has a high enough stored energy that it can raise its energy level to another state, which would bring on combustion. So something that's, damp and wet is not going to have as high of an energy level, or actually it's not going to have as close of a threshold to that next state. It's going to be a lot further down. You got to dry it first so you can store the energy in it, get it nice and dry, nice tinder, and then once you get to that state, all it needs is that little ignition source, that little spark, and then it will ignite, and that would make it flammable. So that's your answer. Holy moly! And there go all my notes flying on the ground. But yeah, that's it for the AMA episode of the Daily Commute Podcast. This was episode 3. Quick fun fact for those that missed out on the last couple episodes. Episode 3 was already filmed, and guess what happened to it? I wasn't talking the whole time because my recorder wasn't on. So we lost the original episode 3. It's gone. It'll never be back. So, But yeah, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for the questions. If you have any more, hit me up. Discord, hit me up on my Facebook, hit me up on Twitch. For those that are watching this video on Friday, whatever the date is, let me get the date up on here. Hold on. There's a way I can bring my date up. Where's my date? Menu. I don't know. Whatever the date is, Friday, we're going to be doing a new stream. I got a brand new green screen. We're going to be trying some cool stuff out with it. We're going to try to do some mixed reality streaming. Oh, it's a perfect time to end the podcast. You can't even hear me no more. Oh, all the rain. Oh, downpour.